The financial struggles of Olympic athletes have driven many to seek alternative sources of income, leading some to turn to OnlyFans, a platform primarily known for adult content, to support their athletic careers. This trend sheds light on what many athletes and advocates describe as a broken financial system within the world of Olympic sports, where the vast majority of competitors struggle to make ends meet despite the billions of dollars generated by the Games. Olympic athletes dedicate their lives to training and competing at the highest level, often facing immense physical and mental challenges. However, the financial burden of pursuing such dreams is often overwhelming. The International Olympic Committee, IOC, and other governing bodies have come under fire for failing to adequately support athletes, many of whom are left to fend for themselves financially. Jack Laffer, a British diver who won a bronze medal at the Tokyo 2021 Olympics and again at the Paris 2024 Olympics, is one of several athletes who have turned to OnlyFans to make ends meet. Laffer, who charges $10 a month for a subscription to his page, shares content labeled as Safe for Work, SFW, featuring himself in Speedos, briefs, and boxers. For Laffer, the platform has become a financial lifeline, providing much-needed income after his sponsorships dried up and promised funding never materialized. Despite the controversy surrounding his decision, Laffer has found that his OnlyFans account has allowed him to continue competing at the highest level. Laffer is not alone. Other Olympians, such as Canadian pole vaulter Alysha Newman, German diver Timo Barthel, New Zealand rower Robbie Manson, Mexican diver Diego Baeza Isaias, and Australian diver Matthew Mitchum, have also turned to OnlyFans to support their athletic endeavors. Each athlete has their own approach to the platform, with some opting for artistic or implied nude content while others offer more revealing photos. For some athletes, OnlyFans has not only provided financial stability but has also positively impacted their athletic performance. Robbie Manson, a rower from New Zealand, credits the platform with helping him achieve a personal best at the Olympics, stating that his relaxed and artistic approach to creating content mirrors his approach to rowing. Manson describes his content as thirst traps, rather than explicit material, emphasizing the balance he strives to maintain between his online presence and his athletic career. However, not all athletes are comfortable with the idea of selling their images online. Diego Baeza Isaias, a Mexican diver, initially joined OnlyFans to fund his journey to the Olympics and support his family. But after failing to qualify for Paris 2024, he expressed disappointment and plans to close his account. Baeza Isaias stated that he believes no athlete turns to OnlyFans out of enjoyment, but rather out of necessity. The IOC, which generates over $1.7 billion annually, has been criticized for its failure to adequately compensate athletes. Rob Kohler, Director General of Global Athlete, an organization advocating for athletes' rights, has condemned the current funding model as exploitative, likening it to modern-day slavery. Kohler argues that while the IOC and National Olympic Committees profit from the athletes' labor, the majority of competitors struggle to cover basic living expenses, often leading to debt and post-career challenges such as depression and unemployment. The financial strain on athletes extends beyond training costs, which can include coaching, physical therapy, equipment, and travel expenses. Many athletes must also pay their own way to the Olympics, covering everything from medical bills to tickets for family members who wish to attend their events. Unlike superstar athletes like Michael Phelps or Simone Biles, who can command lucrative sponsorship deals, most Olympic competitors receive little to no financial support. Alysha Newman, who has used her OnlyFans earnings to invest in property and build her savings, expressed frustration with the lack of financial opportunities for amateur athletes. She sees her OnlyFans account as a way to take control of her financial future and has leveraged her entrepreneurial skills to capitalize on her athletic achievements. The stigma associated with OnlyFans remains a significant issue for many athletes. Some have faced questions about whether they have crossed the line into sex work, and the platform's association with adult content has led to judgment and criticism. Matthew Mitchum, an Australian diver and the first openly gay Olympic gold medalist, has been candid about his experiences on the platform, referring to his content as a light version of sex work, and comparing it to selling the sizzle rather than the steak. Despite the controversy, Mitchum and others argue that OnlyFans offers a more dignified alternative to crowdfunding platforms like GoFundMe, as athletes are providing a product or service in exchange for the money they receive. Mitchum believes that the platform allows athletes to become entrepreneurs, taking control of their financial destinies in a way that traditional sponsorships and funding models do not. As the financial pressures on Olympic athletes continue to mount, the reliance on platforms like OnlyFans may become more widespread. The IOC, however, has largely dismissed concerns about the trend. When asked about athletes turning to OnlyFans, IOC spokesman Mark Adams stated that he assumed athletes, like all citizens, are allowed to do what they can to support themselves. While the IOC claims that 90% of its revenues are distributed to support the development of sport and athletes, critics argue that this funding rarely reaches those who need it most. The ongoing debate over the financial treatment of Olympic athletes raises important questions about the sustainability of the current system and the ethical implications of athletes being forced to sell their images to survive.